Good.
Is it on?
Good.
Live stream.
That was about 10 minutes of us pressing the button and it not working. Why does this not? Wow, okay, yeah, that's just straight up broken.
We're so good at this.
Hi, where's my camera? There's my camera. How's it going? Welcome back to the Conversation App podcast.
It's us.
It is us.
We're here.
This is a ostensibly comedy podcast where two people, sometimes three, but this time two, talk about, thank you, the arts, geeky things, how great it is to not be able to afford anything ever, and sometimes films, I guess.
Yeah.
And this is a live stream.
Well, we're talking about
Of
none
that.
of those things.
No, but isn't
Today
it nice
we're
to
being good.
not be able to afford anything?
No.
No, it's pretty sucky. Yeah, welcome to the live stream, second live stream, because the other one was so very live.
It was so not dead.
No, that's true. Today we are talking about the end of the world.
See? None of those things that Liam said that this was about is what we're talking about. One of the things that it isn't. Yeah, we're talking apocalypse.
You've lost me already, my brain hurts. Yeah. So I thought what we could do is watch some educational what to do in the apocalypse videos from the 50s.
Of course.
Because why not?
And since those safety videos, there's been no accidents.
No. In the 50s, it was 1951, this one. So, no, I think everything's been going pretty good so far.
No meltdowns, no accidents. What's a meltdown? Something that happens to ice creams, right?
I mean, I have one, like, every 20 minutes, feels like. I'm quite good at not showing it, but, yeah, it's happening.
Oh.
September is Preparedness Month.
Which doesn't sound like a proper word, does it?
No. Preparedness.
Preparedness.
Ben, how are you prepared? I don't care what for. I just want to know how you are prepared. In other ways.
Well, I've got socks on.
That's pretty good. Are they seasonal?
They're Bowser from Super Mario.
So
I don't know if we can see.
No,
Probably not.
We cannot. But I'm sure the audience can use their
Ha!
mind brains.
That's upside down. Bowser sock. Bowser's face, but upside down.
I'm sure we can edit that to be the right way up in the future.
Yeah.
We need some less noisy chairs, huh?
Sorry.
Ben's trying to cross his legs without touching me.
Well, trying to do it without making any chair noise.
Oh, I see. That makes much more sense.
Wasn't a whole Mrs. Robinson thing.
Here's to you. Let me touch your knees.
No.
What?
I'm wearing jeans. I'm prepared for your knee advances by wearing jeans, so you cannot touch them. That's how I'm prepared. How are you prepared?
I'm prepared by not wearing shoes, which allows me to run much better. Except one of my toes is bigger than the other ones, so I feel like I'm more likely to fall forward. You know what? I'm not prepared. I'm just going to own that.
That's normal.
What, to have a molten toe?
No, to have a toe that's bigger than the other ones on one foot at least.
Okay, so you know the toe that is called the big toe.
Yes.
If you have one that is longer, not necessarily wider, but longer.
Right.
So not a little chody guy, but a longer chap. That's called a molten toe.
A Morton toe.
Yeah, spelt the same as our good friend
Toe.
Nathaniel Morton. Yeah, that's what that is.
Why?
Because it was discovered by Horatio Morton in the year 4.
Oh.
And he wrote it down in his big book of things. Available on Audible. Not a sponsor.
Here are some pictures of toes. Glorious.
I mean, I can Google toes if you want with safe
I
search.
don't want.
Right, shall we watch a movie? We've got a, for the benefit of the podcast when it comes out next week. We've got to actually say things. We can't just sit back and actually watch the film. So it's going to be more like a mystery science theatre type deal.
You make my life harder than the plane that's flying overhead.
That plane is made of cardboard.
Oh.
And it's not very hard. Ben, can you press number 2? That's it? Okay. Can you press... Oh, goddamn. Hang on. That's all broken. If you press... Right, okay, this will get edited out, I hope.
It's always good for a live stream, isn't it?
Because why is it there's no reason for it to have broken? That's so dumb. Can you please go to... Right, you see on the top left, bear with, this is great.
This is now turned into Ben learns the thing.
Click that chap.
This chap.
That chap. Oh,
Themes.
That's not the chap at all. That's a entirely different chap. Up one.
Live.
Up another one.
Camera.
Outstanding. Right, hang on. Does that mean I can do it now? No. Right. Jesus Christ. See where it says screen cap?
Click it.
Click it. You see how there's like a little eye with an arrow going through it? Like that. Welcome to the...
Hello.
No, Ben. Okay, don't touch anything. Leave it the hell alone. Right.
Okay.
I worked on this for like a week.
You didn't do a very good job, buddy.
It was... I got a lot of arm. Okay. Let's watch Atomic Alert.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that thing that's happening.
Ow!
Did you just realise that you hurt?
I just realised that I got a new ear piercing, and I put big, heavy things on the thing. Ow!
Ben Pearson on the saying words, ladies and gentlemen.
Hello.
Right, okay. I might need to adjust volume as we go. So, let's watch. We're not going to watch all 10 minutes because we don't have places to be.
I got places to be.
You got places to be?
Yeah.
Too bad.
I want to go home and play Fallout. This is getting me in a apocalyptic mood.
I think that's fair. Oh god,
Not
there's something
76.
wrong with that woman.
That's the end of Psycho, isn't it?
What, there's something wrong with that woman?
Where they've got the eyes. It zooms in on the lady's eye, doesn't it? I've never seen the movie.
But you know how it ends. Yeah, this could be the unofficial... What's it called?
Clicking sound.
Ooh, okay. So the clicking sound. The guy's talking,
guy
but he's not
helps
making
us.
any sound. He's just clicking.
Is converting radioactivity into
Oh, it's a
sounds we can
it's a
hear.
Geiger
It's a-
counter.
Radioactivity
Guy-
is coming from a small
Geiger.
piece of
Geiger.
radioactive
Geiger.
material inside this
Like a
plastic
gilet.
cylinder. The small
So I don't
amount of
think that
radioactivity coming from the
these-
cylinder is harmless.
I mean, they're meant to look like children, but they all sort of look like they're in their 30s, but wearing
No,
big clothes.
That's what children looked like in the 50s.
Oh, really?
Because they spent their first 10 years in the mines.
The Geiger counter
And
it-
are now just farting about with
caused by cosmic
radioactive
radiation.
materials
Yeah,
in,
pretty much.
in a classroom of 6 people.
But we don't get enough
Simpler
cosmic
times.
radiation
Simpler
to
times.
harm us. Today, atomic
That
scientists
car just puts it down the
produce
top and the whole thing
radioactivity in
explodes. So now they're in some sort of factory with a man.
Radioactive materials have many peacetime uses.
Ooh, we're going to learn about...
The peacetime uses
We
of
know, too,
nuclear
that they can be
materials.
used
The man is
harmfully.
not wearing very thick gloves, but he appears to be handling
A cartoon
nuclear
bomb.
fission. And now there's a cartoon of the world being exploded.
This is very
There is a chance.
difficult to audio describe what's being seen for the people
While it's
who
also being
can't
audio
see
described.
why it's...
Yeah.
Besides
That was a great
blast,
screen.
there's
We can do that one.
radioactivity and heat. Can we
Radioactivity and
protect
heat.
ourselves from these? These children are protected.
God, apparently these children are protected by the basement of a cartoon house.
What I love about this, I'm going to pause as we talk. So there's a grayscale depiction of a house, and it's a cross section sort of, so you can see the basement, and it's depicted what I assume are 2 children hiding under a table, and
Yeah.
like, what are some of the details you notice in this? Because you don't need an awful lot of detail to like paint the picture. You've got like a vent in the ceiling.
Well, I noticed that
got
they don't have
windows.
stairs in the basement or anything else
No, there's no way to get there, but there is a vice on the table.
to show that it's
A table. Because otherwise it would just be trampoline,
family in a box
family in a box
for kids.
by Mattel. Get yours today from Audible.
House, but does not harm the children. Any
So the house is
solid
going to get
protection.
destroyed,
But the-
thicker it is,
but the kids will be
the
fine.
better.
Never mind that the basement is connected to the house.
And the house has just been scorched and nuclearified.
I mean, the cartoon implied that'd be a much smaller explosion.
You are on that team.
Did you know that the thing with Vault Boy, where he does the thumb and
thing.
winky thing,
I do know that, but you can tell our audience what that is.
it's
fireman,
all
policeman,
bollocks.
and nurse.
So,
The thing
okay,
is, you're
we
meant to. The
we
thing
need to
is-
fill in some gaps, I think. So the game Fallout, which used to be my favourite, courtesy Bethesda, the logo is a Vault Boy, so it's a guy in a suit who lives in a nuclear vault, and he sticks his thumb out in front of him, and it looks like he's doing he's looking at kiddos.
Wait,
Epstein.
no.
So what
Whoa.
what it's supposed to be is that you stick your thumb out, and if you can see like the mushroom cloud explosion of nuclear whatever, I think it's just
If it's bigger than your
it's
thumb,
bigger than your thumb.
then you run away.
No, if it's bigger than your thumb, there's no point in running.
Yeah, if it's
That's
smaller than your thumb, then you should still run, but you're
You
pretty
have
safe.
you have a chance of making it.
That is all bollocks.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Is the point of this to just accept death in whatever form it will come in?
And be cheery.
Yeah, millennials are all broken, man.
I can't remember off the top of my head whilst people are running away from a car alarm on the TV. This guy doesn't know where he's going. He's lost his house.
Where's the bunker? It's underground. How do I get underground? Dig, Timmy, you fool.
Look, even the dog is ahead of him. He
Dog
knows
knows
what's
where the
going
bunker
on.
is.
Yeah, I can't remember why this is where it originated from, but yeah, that's bollocks.
Interesting.
Get behind a wall or a steep embankment. How do you know where it's coming from?
Yeah,
You
what
could
if-
have just. You could be protecting a wall or a steep embankment with your body.
The steep embankment thing, though, if the bomb lands behind you,
This lady knows what she's doing. She's
Close the
she's
blinds.
closed the blinds.
so the neighbours don't see our melting faces.
Windows to protect against the possibility of broken glass, heat, and radioactivity.
He looks a little bit like who's that actor? Who's that guy off the telly? The guy.
Matt Damon.
Matt Damon. Thank you. Ben knows who I mean.
Because he looks a
Because he looks like
because he
Matt
looks a
Damon.
bit like Matt Damon.
So there's this Matt Damon looking guy, and like his ostensible younger sister is wearing.
Who looks like little Matt Damon in a wig and a dress.
Oh, she totally does.
Where you're wrong. We need this practice. Now, come on, let's do our job.
He sounds like Matt Damon. That is Matt
We
Damon.
all need practice.
He is waged. He is
He
aged.
is
very
waged
well.
so well.
There's
oh
a
my God,
vice
there's a
on the
vice on the
table.
table again.
They've hopped up on a table.
All Americans in the fit. Oh, she is.
And they have soda ash and stirrup pump fire extinguishers.
I don't know what soda ash is.
But it's a
They have
fire
other
extinguisher
emergency
of
supplies, too.
sorts.
Flashlights,
of sorts.
a well-equipped first
Where
aid
are their
kit,
parents in this?
plenty of bandages,
They're dropping the bombs
tape
like
and scissors.
responsible freedom-fighting Americans.
A Red Cross first
I don't know.
aid kit, a few cans
I
of
don't know what you
food,
want
a
from
full
me.
supply of water, blankets, and an electric lantern in reserve.
You know, Susie, this stuff would come in handy on a camping trip.
Rather be at a camping trip.
Yeah, I think a lot of people would rather be at camping trip Susie instead of hiding under their vice table from the
Not if-
impending death.
Not if the world's going to explode. If the world's going to explode, I'd much rather be under a table with a vice on top.
And Matt Damon.
And Matt Damon, I'd feel very safe around Matt Damon.
Head for the shelter area.
Shelter
If it's
area.
for you,
Matt
cover away from
Damon.
windows and in a hallway if possible. Wait for the all
Just a hallway. The shelter area is a hallway.
If you're on the playground,
That guy's not sheltering. Oh, he's gone. You've got this Henry Winkler looking dude.
Henry Winkler.
The Fonz.
Oh,
Um,
so just someone from the 50s in a leather jacket.
Inside,
yeah,
go to
yeah,
the shelter
basically.
area you've
And like
been
a
assigned.
quiff or whatever.
Take your place on the floor. Here's one good
Oh.
Everybody do the dinosaur.
They seem to be doing the
They just
locomotion whilst pretending to be mushrooms.
Yeah, they're just like covering their heads with their jackets.
We said we weren't going to watch all 10 minutes of this.
No, I mean, we very nearly have.
Yeah, stop
That's fine.
it.
Do you want to not? Do you want to skip to the end?
Oh, yeah, skip to the
Skip
end.
to the end.
Oh, those people have just turned into dust.
A tree fell over. Oh, that one was camouflaged because it's black and white.
Hang on.
Oh god, because in tight.
It was.
There's an alarm there. This is skipping.
Matt Damon's back.
Matt
Yeah,
Damon's
just
back.
let's just skip right to the end and see if.
It's something like Mom uses.
Skipping.
That's what everyone must do to be safe.
Oh, now we know.
Oh, and now it just says that's what everyone must do to be safe.
Means
Good.
simply following the rules in an alert, or
You got-
So basically, hide behind something and hope that you've got all of your
Just hope-
everything.
Yeah. That guy's just...
In this early
Pegged it into the
troubled
corner.
stage of the atomic age,
Okay, right, so let's recap what we've learned. What have we learned? If a bomb were to go off...
If somehow you know that the bomb is exploding, get behind. So, when a bomb is about to go off,
Yeah,
in the 1950s,
yeah,
there would be a scream
yeah.
of machinery or a siren,
Yeah.
and then somehow you would know instinctively what direction the bomb is coming from.
Mm-hmm.
Get behind a big thing,
Yep.
so the big thing is between it and you.
Unless the big thing is on the other side, in which case hop over the big thing. To be more safe with.
Yes, yeah. So you still need to get behind a big thing,
Yeah, sure.
and then you stay there until the bomb explodes.
Yeah.
And after that, you will have your kit bag with you, because of course,
Did it say anything
with all
about
your
kit
stuff.
bags,
Well,
or is
it
this
had
new?
it under the table. We had a
Oh, it
flashlight,
did.
and
It wasn't really a bag. It was just like some stuff under a table. With
okay. So
blankets
I
and
assume
stuff.
you would then have your table,
Sure.
your vice table,
Vice table. That's
with
good.
your number of,
Number
with your little itinerary.
itinerary. Did he have an itinerary?
Well, he had a lot of stuff.
1951 to 1954. Backgammon. 1954 to 1959. Melting. There's a lot of melting. Right. Well, I feel more prepared. Do you feel more prepared?
I vaguely.
Vaguely more prepared. I mean, that's a good amount of prepared.
I mean, I now know that
You.
I share the same shirt as Matt Damon from the 50s.
Yes, that was a stylish get-up. Get-up? I don't... I'm not a fashion man.
This
What's the opposite of a fascist? Because that's me. Fashion, Easter, fashion.
Fesh.
You know what? It's fine. Right, we got some atomic tests on the Nevada Proving Grounds.
Yep, that's probably best just to avoid everything you were saying.
This is from 1954. So 1953, little known fact, is when they developed colour film. For more better to show you all the...
Was that because of the
decaying
nuclear
corpses.
stuff? The whole world was in black and white, and then nuclear happened, and then all the colour got out.
Everything went green for like 6 months because of the radiation. And then it settled down, became slightly less saturated, and then it was colour.
Is that why the Matrix is green?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's exactly it. Because of the nuclear.
So is Keanu Reeves made of plutonium?
Yes.
Oh, that's good to know.
He's made of Keanu.
If you're hearing this, Keanu Reeves,
Hello.
howdy.
You're marvellous. I know that wasn't
He's
like-
breathtaking.
He's breathtaking, but he should give it back.
I mean, he doesn't keep it.
Oh, well, that's good.
He
So
takes
this-
it and redistributes it.
I think it's going to explode. Okay, that was a cut to a different location.
I was about to say, that whole thing changed.
They're using jump cuts to try and make it look like everything exploded. The house in the middle, because there were 3 houses just there.
I think that this is the second installment of the House trilogy. The next one is The Last House on the Left.
Yeah.
And
fair
then the
enough.
first one is Right House.
But then wouldn't... So where does Doctor House fit in with all of that?
He's the one that puts them back together right at the end.
House... You're thinking of House Doctor. I'm asking about Doctor House with Hugh Laurie.
Yeah,
Nearly said
yeah.
Hugo Weaving. That would have been wrong.
House Doctor
Yeah.
puts all the bits of House together, and then it's sort of like Frankenstein.
Frankenstein's house.
Yeah,
No, I can
but
believe
it's House Doctor.
that. Right.
So like Dr. Frankenstein, so it's House Doctor, and then it's Doctor's house. So
Right.
It's Doctor House.
And you can sublet some of the house fixing, so all the carpets, you can get Rug Doctor, and he'll stitch them all back together. You'll get the crazy paving equivalent of rugs, but...
Still love the advert for Rug. For those who don't know, Rug Doctor is like a carpet cleaning service, but you get
Yeah.
it you borrow it and you go and do it yourself.
Clean the
And
rugs.
it has the slogan "Rent the Rug Doctor," which just makes, to me,
Cool.
sounds absolutely filthy.
It does. I'll rent the Rug Doctor.
I have rented the Rug Doctor.
Ooh. Could you
It's,
sit down afterwards?
Yeah, but the thing is, it leaves like a good 3-inch gap away from the walls. So it's good for rugs, but if you try to do it on carpet, then you've got really clean carpet and just a very dirty
Rim.
carpet rim.
That all checks out. But here's a question. Oh no, that's why it's called Rug Doctor, not Carpet Doctor. That all
Yeah.
makes sense. Good marketing. I haven't been watching this video. High grass and
I
litter.
don't know, the grass is withered.
I mean, it's Nevada. I would wither. Oh no. So what they're saying is, in an apocalypse, don't leave your chip
Your
packets
fencing panels.
next to fences because the fences will explode. I think that's good advice. Oh god, that was another jump cut, wasn't it?
No.
Oh no, it's still the same place. Oh wow. So this is just basically the US government exploding things in sepia, and is this educational? I'm not convinced it is. Do you feel like you're learning?
Yeah, it says that the ones without litter in it didn't explode. So it's the rubbish that have made the explosions.
So in a nuclear
Or
apocalypse, it's
probably
gonna
more
be...
to the fact that the pressure didn't have any way to get out.
Sure. So in a nuclear apocalypse, it's going to be the hoarders that go first. Basically.
Yes.
Okay, that's...
As it should be.
I mean, I'm more or less a hoarder. You've seen this room. There's bongos in the corner. I don't use them.
There's bongos in the corner.
Yeah. Why they got a little barbecue? Oh, it went. I love that they've actually filled it out with, you know.
Well, yeah,
stuff.
it's a scientific experiment, Liam. You're not just going to be able to see what happens to a house in a nuclear explosion if you just put a load of bricks there, are you?
I rather thought I might. Well, why have they put that one? They've covered that in plastic. For why? What purpose does that serve?
This is a tidy house and a dirty house.
The tidy house has plastic on because that looks dirty. That it's still covered.
No,
in
that's
plastic.
but that's a clean one because look at how neat and tidy it is.
It looks like you've left the plastic on, so it looks dirty. That's what I never understood about the plastic on the furniture thing.
Yeah, it's just hey, you've got dirty plastic. Yeah.
Like, how dirty do you think your bum is that you're going to ruin your sofa? Don't sit on that, you'll get bum everywhere. It's like, yes, madam, that's what a sofa is.
So one of these houses is different.
One of them's in slow-mo. It just looks like...
One.
It looks like they've just been given some shocking news and their hats have fallen off because of how fast their eyebrows raised. But it's not. Bam! It's houses. Can I give you a really annoying job? Can you try and close that curtain because it's blowing out your camera a little bit? Yeah, I know. Sorry.
The house is on fire.
The house is on fire.
And now
Now you've got to stand up.
For the podcast, this is going to make no sense. For the audio show,
It's just going to seem like I've cut your mic. That's all it is.
is that better?
That is actually a lot better. Thank you. Look at Ben's tummy, everybody. So you've got a tummy on 2 screens. What a world we live in. Welcome to the future.
A double tummy.
Double tummy.
God's sake, that was a double
For the
tummy.
audio listeners, that was Ben falling into his mic after revealing his midriff to the entire world.
Yes. Glorious.
Glorious. Sponsored by Lucasade.
So yeah, what was the dirty house safer?
I don't know, I missed it. Identical
3
miniature
identical
frame
miniature
houses.
white houses.
Miniature frame houses, I think that was. And, oh, this one's got washing out. So, what do we think? The washing is going to help the fence explode or less so?
They called it an eyesore, so
Oh, okay. What, because of how much crap is everywhere?
there's trash and unpainted wood. A tiny child.
Tiny child in a pram.
There's Andy Pandy in a pram.
Andy Pramdy. I've got some heavily weathered dry wood.
So, you know, they're saying that the middle one's run down and a bit, you know, not as bad, but it's
Yeah.
still a bit a bit dodgy. It says neglected.
Yes.
I have a feeling that the house on the left is going to be all
Ooh.
painted white and nice and tidy. I think this is just propaganda to make
To sell
Look.
issues of picket fences and good home and
look
gardens.
clean, white house.
So is the point of this going to be that if you're next to a explosion, you're going to die no matter how
If you
tidy
live in a
are?
better area, you were less likely to die for all reasons.
Yeah, we sort of knew
America.
that, though, didn't we? Yeah. Watch out, there's a mic there. This is a still image. Or is it? Oh, I just moved my mouse over and like the little cross came up and I thought that was the bomb. Boom. Explosion.
I think it's just saying, make your house look nicer. And
So that when God comes, you can say, don't send me to hell, I washed the linen.
Yeah.
I mean, that's fair enough, really, isn't it?
I mean, that's what it seems to be. It seems to just be, look at all the nice house, keep things tidy, and when the bombs come, you will die slightly less.
Yeah, your house is going to be there after you're dead, because like your flesh is just going to disappear. Basically.
Especially if you live in a dirty house.
I'm just going to do all these things that I perhaps should have done earlier.
What are you doing to me?
Putting Ben in frame.
I'm in frame.
Yeah.
Oh, check me out.
Check you out. So is that all we're going to learn today from this video?
Yeah. Dirty houses
I mean,
blow
that
up
was just
better.
Yeah.
White houses survive.
Yeah. Who's this
50s America was run by Matt Damon and conspiracy
Yeah.
litter-picking racists.
Yeah. Yeah.
And apparently, according to that, Alan Rickman in drag.
Amazing.
See? Go back to...
Alan Rickman in drag. This is just a way to mobilise children to pick litter. Fix up campaigns. What? I'm Alan Rickman.
Alan Rickman crossed with Margaret Thatcher.
It's Margaret
Margaret
Rickman.
Rickman.
Alan Thatcher.
Algret Richmaker.
Algret Rich Moke.
Yeah, that's not organising teams. That's children.
That's 3 homeless children. With
That's
nothing
3
to do.
children with the one newspaper that you threw out 2 minutes before filming this.
They're not recycling either.
They're as bad as...
How is you putting...
Trim your shrubbery.
How
Look
is
at
he-
her using a hammer to just...
But why would sticking some extra rusty nails in a big pile of rundown wood? That's just going to create shrapnel for the explosions.
I
not
think
gonna-
it's to stop, like, things flying off of other things.
So the gist is, if you're cleaner, you explode slightly less.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to start shaving more often, so...
You don't need to shave.
Oh, thanks.
You have just, like...
I have not hit puberty.
No.
No. I mean, it's all blonde, so
You
wouldn't
have
tell
the
me.
nether beard.
Nether beard.
Never beard.
Pubes.
Never.
Oh,
You
I
have no.
see.
You never have a beard. You do not know.
Thanks. I
You're
guess.
welcome.
Uh,
All the nuclear fallout on your face.
That's just regular fallout. That's like beans and chips that are falling out of my mouth. It's not so much a beard as it is just a grease trap.
Beans everywhere.
We got some other films. I mean, we got loads more films. This
Let's not do more film. Let's do the prep because that's sickening.
it is a bit
It's
much.
gonna be the same things.
So-
just over and over. Hey, Brandine, you hammer down those nails and clean the trash out of the yard. I don't want to go boom when the boom goes boom.
If the booms
That's my New York accent.
is it?
Yeah.
It sounded Jamaican to me. So what I found really interesting is if you Google Bing or ask Jeeves for like
Sorry,
The idea of
I
Bing.
kept it
The
together
very
with Bing.
concept
but
of Bing.
I kept it together with Bing. It was Ask Jeeves.
Yeah, if you Jeeves it. There's so many lists come up of like how to be prepared or facts about the apocalypse for kids. And
Okay.
there was like a few like religious organizations like, here's some fun facts about the apocalypse. The Pale Rider will come and reap your soul for kids. Which was bizarre. I was like, well, Christians are known to be crazy. So then we went on.
Shout out to Christians.
Keep on keeping on.
You don't believe in any of this stuff because it's science.
National Geographic
Come
for
on,
kids.
like the crazy Christians. Those are when I say
Yeah,
Christians.
sure. Yeah. Okay.
You're allowed. I mean, I know Christians. Oh, yeah, it's fine. They're cool. But the other ones are dicks.
The crazy version of anything is crazy. National Geographic has a National Geographic for kids.
Yes.
So this is what National Geographic thinks kids should know about the apocalypse. So we've got 7 steps for surviving an apocalypse according to science.
Do you love pets or want to be a vet? No point when the apocalypse comes.
Oh, you're reading the adverts. Fair enough.
More like general science, am I right? Sorry.
I don't know if you're right. So what do you want to do? Do you want to read the headlines and then...
I want broccoli that tastes like brownies.
I mean, we all want the impossible, Ben.
Is that...
Stop reading the goddamn adverts.
Is that what happens after the nuclear fallout?
Yes, everything gets topsy-turvy, things taste of blue, blue becomes a flavour, bottle caps become currency, there's a racist in the White House, like, everything goes crazy. That was before the apocalypse.
Yeah, that's now.
What do you want to do? Do you want to read the headlines? And
How about we
Right.
have a little game?
Okay,
So scroll up so you can just see the picture and the headline.
right.
We read the top thing.
We describe the picture.
Well, yes. Oh, yeah, we describe the picture
You're welcome.
because I forgot that some of this is audio only.
You forgot that this video show is a podcast.
Yep. We then try to think what... I mean, the first one's probably not going to work very well, but then we try and figure out what the right answer is, and then we see if we were right.
Okay. That sounds good. So, shall I go first?
I
Or do you
mean,
wanna- it
yeah,
doesn't matter.
let's do it together.
Okay. So, number 1 is know your survival skills. and
This
the
may
picture...
not work
It's fine.
for this one.
We're working it out. It's the end of the world, and we're just working it out.
Yeah.
We're spitballing. We're throwing things against the wall.
The walls collapsed
walls
because we
collapsed.
didn't tidy.
Or we didn't paint it. It's just rusty nails everywhere. The picture has got like some kidney beans. It's a bunch of canned food. We got the Campbell's mushroom soup. We got the corn. We got other kinds of corn.
It's tinned goods.
Tinned goods. So what are the survival skills? What survival skills do you have to know?
I feel like it would be... Like, because this will just be a very generic first one, I think, and then it will
I
go
mean,
in
it feels
more
like
depth.
it's summarising the entire article.
Yeah, I reckon it'll be sort of like, hey, you need to make sure that you know that if you have to grab food, tin of beans is better than a
Yeah.
ham sandwich.
Sure, yeah, because the...
Don't drink the muddy water when there's clean bottled water next to you.
Yeah.
It's going to be... This one, I think, will be general. This will just say, basically, common sense, use it.
Have you
That's what
got
I
any
think
other
this one will be.
examples other than the thing that is pictured?
Well, I want to see how far down the rabbit hole we go with this.
Okay, fair
So
enough.
I'm going to say that's number 1 out of 7, and then the other 6 we can go into more detail with.
So imagine you found yourself in a post-apocalyptic wasteland. How would you keep yourself alive? Well, there are loads of everyday objects that could help you in an emergency situation. A fire alarm, for example, can actually be used to start a fire. What?
What?
What? And a humble plastic bottle can be used to sterilize drinking water. Simply fill your bottle and leave it out in the sunshine. The sun's UV rays will pass right through the water and kill any germs that are in there. Science.
What?
Science. You've been scienced. You can even make a simple gas fire stove out of tin cans, which is really efficient. It uses the same process called gasification. I got some of that. That was used to
That's the
power
beans.
cars. That's all the canned beans. Used to power cars across Europe during the Second World War. And how about opening a tin of cans without any tools? Easy. There's a trick for that. You'll need to turn the can upside down so you get a little messy, but it's handy. So there's actually no information on how to do any of these things. It's just telling you that these things are possible. I mean, I can assume all these things are possible by the virtue that they're written down, but I don't know how to do them. So this is going to be one of those kids things where like kids get to be really smug at their parents who don't know how to start a simple gas fire using tin cans, and the parents are like, okay, how do you do it? And the kids go, I know, read the blog. And the parents are like, there's no Wi-Fi in the apocalypse, you dumbass.
So if I piss in this bottle
Yes.
and leave it in the sun,
No, because that's not water, that's urine. He's talking
but
about
it's full of the
sterilized.
wet stuff.
So am I, but I wouldn't drink any of it. No, this is just simply specifically water. So if you get water out of a river or something, you can leave it in a bottle in the sun. You'll have warm drinking water. I think I'd rather die. So number 2, choose a good hideout. I'm trying not to read. Choose a good hideout. Top of a mountain, basically. So the title is number 2, choose a good hideout, and the picture is what I assume to be some sort of highland, lowland situation with a picturesque sky. I think there's a little road with some trees. If you were to mask out the road and the future cows, it could be used in the Hobbit movie,
Yeah.
but it wasn't. So what do you look for in a good hideout?
Depends on the apocalypse. If it's
Fine.
if it's a zombie apocalypse,
Yeah,
remote,
yeah.
um,
Remote but up high.
high up,
Yeah.
basically.
Retractable stairs of some kind.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Lots of eggs to throw at the
With
zombies.
a water source. So I would
Yeah.
say with
You've
something
got
like
rain,
this.
innit?
Yeah, but it'd be good to have a spring.
Well, okay, so you're talking about the very top of a mountain, then, aren't
Yeah.
you? Right.
Possibly with a little plateau.
Retractable
Some
stairs.
trees and the retractable stairs, yeah. Obviously.
Plateau is a high
Yeah,
form of flattery.
somewhere with shelter, so like out of the wind and the rain.
Yeah, that's fair. Or if it was some sort of nuclear situation or a war, I would say underground, probably. Because underground's less likely to be seen, so a secretive bunker of sorts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what we want is a top of a mountain with a cave in it.
Well, no, we said it depends on the apocalypse.
Yeah, but we can try and sort of mush them all
Watch out, there's a mic there.
Mic there.
Hmm.
Mush them all together, so we're at the top of the mountain
Yep.
with a cave in it,
Right.
with a water source,
Yeah.
a Tesco's,
Yeah.
retractable stairs,
Can we make sure the Tesco staff aren't arseholes, though?
self-service.
Yeah, that's fine. I go over Sainsbury's, though, because I got Nectar points.
Yeah, right.
I'll save up. That's what I'll save up my Nectar points for.
Okay.
Because I can either get 20 quid off the Eurostar, or I could just use it all the points in the apocalypse.
Eurostar.
Thank you.
Let's just stay on the Eurostar.
Just go roundy round.
Yeah.
There is a film to that effect. It's okay. It's basically like Hunger Games if Hunger Games was on a on a train. I know that sounds dumb, and I can't remember the name of the film, but we do have Google. So Hunger Games
On a train.
on a train. Nope. Nope. No, okay.
That's-
Can't remember. Oh, what's the Captain America actor? Steve Jobs?
Steven Seagal.
Steven Seagal? I don't think it is.
Chris Evans.
Chris Evans. Chris Evans film. This will be so worth it. Snowpiercer. Yep,
What?
it's okay. Oh, it's a 2013 film. So Snowpiercer, basically, it's the Hunger Games but on a train. So they're on a train, right, and the train keeps going roundy round because the world's dead, and like it just goes around the entire world, just like on a big old loop, and that's where like, as far as we know, the rest of mankind live, and then like all the dregs of society are like scraping together a living on the back of the train, and basically like all the rich people live at the front of the train, and there's a rebellion situation because turns out the poor people have been eating other poor people. Soylent Brown is people, basically. Yeah, it's pretty good, and the aesthetic is very Hunger Games. Like all the rich people are just wearing mad stuff, and it's pretty cool.
Does it turn out that they're going through time?
No,
Oh.
just space.
Because
Snowpiercer, 2013.
if there were a train that went round the Earth,
Mm-hmm.
I think it's like 17 times a second or something bananas like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically at 99.99 recurring % the speed of light. That is one of the ways that you could travel forward in time.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, that's true.
Because if you were running from one end of that train to the other, you are travelling at
quite fast.
basically light speed and then travelling on something. You're travelling on something that's going at light speed and
Yep.
then going faster because you're on that.
Yes.
So the universe slows it down because of quantum mechanics and physics and stuff. So you get off the train and then everyone you know is dead.
Or you could just like get a kebab, innit? Yes, so in Snowpiercer, like they're not quite going that fast. I think it roughly takes them a year to go around the entire world, and they celebrate.
A very slow train.
Meh. Well, it's the right speed apparently for whatever their purpose is. They celebrate New Year's. They celebrate New Year's by knowing that they go through a specific location. So every time they get to a specific mountain, it roughly equates to the New Year. So that's how they know to celebrate it. Because there's no way to tell time, because obviously it's harder to tell time when you're going around the world because of the rotation of the Earth around the sun. Something, something, something. That mountain means New Year's. So what do you think is a good hideout?
That mountain.
Okay. Get out of the cities. A lot of us live in cities nowadays.
That.
Well, yeah. As they're convenient and full of shops. Duh. That's why we live in a city. But if civilization collapsed and you had to do things for yourself, the city is the worst place to be. What if there's no electricity, no gas, no running water, no lights, heating, and you can't grow your own food because everything's covered in tarmac?
Countryside. See, I said water, fresh water.
Yeah. Lake districts would be ideal. Just made to avoid the Arctic Circle or the middle of a desert. Okay.
Yep, that's good advice for apocalypse or not.
I can't swim, so Arctic is sort of out of the equation anyway. I'll pack a survival kit. There's no picture for this one. So what do you think? Oh, bugger. What do you think should be in a survival kit?
Well, I would go with pretty much everything they told you to take on a school trip when you were little.
Ah. Okay, so those little wristbands with the bubbles on them that stop you from getting car sick. Spare pants.
What the hell was that first thing?
There's like a little mini wristband, like a... not Velcro, like an elasticated wristband. And they had like a white ball on them. And you put that ball over the vein on your wrist and it stops you getting car sick. And it worked. It's a really good placebo.
Not anymore.
Not the band.
Really? I never had this.
Do you not? Okay.
I had biscuits.
Well, I think we're upper middle class and you were lower middle class, so that could be that.
Hello.
Hello, poor people. No, I'm poor now. Joke's on me. So I don't intend to be in many cars, so probably not them. Definitely spare pants.
Clothes.
Pack a Mac.
Suitable clothes for like if it's gonna get cold or if it's gonna get hot.
A Pack-a-Mac.
Tin opener, so you don't have to fanny about with the first one.
A Pack-a-Mac, just by the way, is a basically like mini tarpaulin with a hood on that you can put on, and then you chase ghosts around a maze and eat pebbles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's almost nothing like what it is.
It's a one-person tarpaulin.
It's an umbrella that just drapes over you. It's an umbrella without a stick.
And a hood. So, of all those things we said, combine them, and that's roughly approximates a rough approximation rather than an exact approximation of a Pack-a-Mac.
Bear Grylls and Ray Mears. Bear Grylls because he knows how to do stuff extreme.
I thought you were going to say...
And Ray Mears because he doesn't drink his own piss all the time.
I thought you were being a roadman. Like, yeah, we need Bear Grylls, mate. It's like, I think one grill would suffice, actually. Bear meaning plural. Lots. Plenty. Cornucopia.
That's Hunger Games again.
Yes, it is. What you want to pack a survival pack that includes survivalists?
Yeah, because they always have whatever they need whenever they are there.
You're outsourcing your survival kit. I mean, that's a good solution, isn't it?
Thank you.
Imagine you've got a 4-minute warning to get out of the house, grab some fresh water and cans of food. If you forget the can opener, don't worry because you now know, dyslexic, you now know how to open one without. We bloody don't. You didn't say anything.
Oh, no.
A knife, twine for
Just said it'll
tying
get
things,
messy.
or failing that, use your iPod headphones instead. And don't forget that an empty plastic bottle for sterilizing water. I mean, that's great because you can tie things up. It doesn't say what, but you can tie things up and like you have a little hum of Lizzo in the background. It's perfect. She's a contemporary music artist.
Good.
It's all about being clever and genius and using things in new ways. Well, like, I sort of assumed survival was dependent on me being smart. like a little bit.
Oh, I might die.
According to recent research, over a third of the UK population are already prepared and keep a bug out bag. No, they don't. That's bull. I don't believe that a third of people have a bug out bag in the UK. I reckon they've got like a tin of spaghetti in a bum bag and they leave it by the fire escape and that's it.
Yeah.
I think that's horse
72
ass.
hours worth of stuff.
Two tins of spaghetti in a tin, one of which has got hot dogs for a treat.
But you don't know which one's which.
I've definitely told this story before, I don't know if it's on the podcast, but I once had, I used to like spaghetti hoops.
Yes.
I still sort of do.
I still like spaghetti hoops, they're good.
But the thing that did it for me was I accidentally bought spaghetti, not spaghetti hoops. And the logos are basically the same, and I'm an idiot. So I opened it up and it's like, some bastard has been through here and cut up my hoops. How did you get in the tin, and how did you do it up afterwards?
I've broken all of my hoops.
Or they've just like shaken it up so all the hoops like unwrap or whatever. Genuinely, my first thought wasn't, oh, I screwed up my Sainsbury's order. My first thought was someone has cyber hacked my tin of hoops.
Oh no, my hoops.
My hoops. Number
Keyhole
4.
surgery on a Heinz tin of... just to mess about with your hoops.
Ruined my day, and they didn't taste as good.
Oh.
Number 4, use, italicized, your mobile phone. What are you going to use your phone for? I mean,
Google it.
Google what you could use your phone for.
I mean, it depends on what... If we're talking nuclear apocalypse, maybe not everything's done. Maybe there's still stuff. Maybe there's still Wi-Fi. Maybe it's just Croydon that's gone down. So you could Google it.
Yeah, that's true.
Have a look at the news.
Because unless like I guess it depends where all the internet info is hosted, really, doesn't it? Because if it's all, if it's wherever the nuclear bomb hit,
Or it's going to say, did you know 60% of people have already got snapshots of their closest disaster area go-to zones?
what? Is that like an advert? Is that the bit you're doing? That there's an advert?
I know, like how it said that there's already a bug-out bag that a third of people keep.
I see.
Maybe everyone, apart from us two, have a little folder of emergency info on their phones.
Like how to get to the Antarctica.
The Antarctica.
I don't care. Arctic Circle. Whatever. Shut up. I don't care.
I'm going to go to the Australia.
Look, shut up. I'm not going to go there. I don't need to know their ways.
That's what I'm going to say.
Right, so you reckon people have got like a little folder on their phone which is just what to do in an apocalypse?
Yep.
I mean, that's fair enough. So
Stop clicking wrong things.
yeah, I'm clicking all the wrong things. Use your mobile phone. The one thing we all can't live without these days are mobile phones. True, can't live without them. Physically impossible. But if the civilization collapsed,
so
they're not much being used.
GPS.
Yeah, but what? I mean, how would they
6
not be
months
much...
of life in the satellites.
Well, no. Okay, hang on. So, I'm going to dispute the fact they wouldn't be much use at all because all the stuff like my data allowance, that's all automated. There's no one pressing buttons to make sure that happens. There's only humans if you have like an ongoing complaint for like 3 years or something that a bot can't fix. So I reckon everything would carry on in terms of your phone. I reckon we'd still have Wi-Fi.
Phones.
We'd still have phones. Like we might struggle to get a charge, but I reckon
Supposed to be like when the power goes out and stuff. That
what the power goes out at Google HQ or whatever. I reckon they've got backup generators. I reckon they'd be completely self-serving in an apocalypse. Same way that Richard Branson is prepping for the legalization of cannabis with all of those tomato farms. I reckon Google are prepping for the actual apocalypse by doing something creepy and evil, probably.
Virgin
that sound-
marijuana.
What?
Richard Branson getting into weed.
Yeah. Because, like, so basically they have, like, a whole... This is going back a few years, so it might not be true, or it might not be true now. But what I heard was that they had a whole bunch of, like, tomato fields, and, like, within, like, a day they could swap them over to growing cannabis on like a huge scale, so they could be like the first people to like market cannabis cigarettes in like a pack, just like you'd buy 20 Benson Hedges for £400.
Ah.
Except it's weed, so it'll cost like tenner.
And then he can get back to suing the NHS, like the prick that he is.
Yeah. And he wouldn't have to sell any of his islands.
Screw you, Branson.
Terrible man.
And your pickle.
And your Wi-Fi is awful. So I dispute this whole thing, even though it's from National Geographic. But it is interesting that there's GPS is expected to work for at least 6 months after. It doesn't really say what. This is vague because it's for kids, I guess.
I was about to say, this is for children.
Yeah.
And it's still smarter than us.
Number 5, become a super scavenger.
It's got pictures of, like...
Solar panels.
That's the one.
That's the one.
Not like the Hulk rummaging through the bins.
No. By super scavenger, I wonder if it means just like try and plug a USB into a solar panel.
Just plug it into the sun.
You plug it into the sun. Very long cable.
It could do, or it might just be like, hey, if you make use... Womble. Basically be a womble.
Yeah, Womblet. Yeah, and that's also one of our suggestions for our hideout. Womble hole.
A womble hole.
Yeah. The biggest key to surviving is learning how to scavenge and forage for the things you need.
Like a womble.
Like a womble. One of the best things to get your hands on is a car battery and alternator. Use them to make simple windmill or water mill to recharge the battery. Yeah, fair enough. Scavenge solar panel can be used to charge your mobile phone. Told you.
Womble.
And if you're in need of a compass, an analog wristwatch will do good. Oh, right. Okay, I was supposed to say.
Oh yeah, simply point the minute hands towards the sun and halfway between the number 12 will show... Wait, stop highlighting things whilst I'm trying to... Point the minute hand towards the sun.
Yeah.
And halfway between that number...
And the number
and
12.
number 12. Wait, no. Point the minute hand towards the sun.
Yeah.
And halfway between the number 12 and the hour hand will show you where south is. Right.
That really hurts my brain. Can we go over it once more?
I don't have a watch.
No. I could draw a watch. So you point the minute
So you point the minute hand to the sun.
Yeah.
And then you look at where the hour hand is. And then
Yeah.
halfway between the hour hand and the 12
Is where south is.
is where south is. So opposite that is north.
But the minutes change, though.
Yes, so does the sun.
Not as fast as minutes. Right?
Yeah, but that's why you move. You can move the watch.
Yeah, but then that moves the whole watch.
Yeah. But not massively so.
If it's a minute, quite a lot, surely. Yeah.
We're bad at this.
I'm going to trust it because it's National Geographic, but I'm skeptical because it's for kids.
My brain doesn't
And again,
work
kids
that way.
don't actually need to know how to survive because what they're going to do, read a blog.
Number
and
6. Gather a useful gang.
then, like Wombles.
Like the Wombles.
Like the Wombles.
Did they have specific skills, the Wombles?
Yes, one of them was a medic. The other one was...
A tank.
A tank.
The other was a sniper.
Yeah, but the
A
tank...
rogue.
Yeah, the
A
rogue...
clerk. A
the rogue
bard.
kept trying to be like
A wizard.
the main DPS, and the whole party were just like, no, just stand in the background and throw knives at them. And then they had a bard, which did nothing. I miss playing D&D, I'll be honest. Useful game. I think that, like, I know we're being somewhat sarcastic, but I actually think that's it. I think that everyone's got to have, like, a unique skill.
Make sure that you've got a varied skill set and...
Yeah. You might have imagined who you'd take with you during an apocalypse, who'd be most useful. Or do you know anyone who owns an allotment? Can't take an allotment with you. Who has the skills to grow their own food? Oh, okay, I see. I was being critical too early on. Or someone who's good with their hands, like a carpenter or metal worker, or good at fixing things like a car mechanic. These are people who will be most useful when you're trying to rebuild society. Yeah, fair enough. What about someone who likes fucking? That'll be good for building a society.
Mm-hmm.
People who like computer games, people like computer programmers or astrobiologists, like the writer apparently, will probably have to learn a few more useful skills. Oh, burn. Sick burn.
What about a zombie apocalypse?
That's number 7.
I mean, they all kind of still stick with it, except you need to.
I think the focus is on moving around a little bit.
Well, unless you can find a very secure thing and you don't go all Rick Grimes and start just blowing yourself up because you're a stupid head.
Stupid head. Yeah, fair enough.
But yeah, get out of the city. Reliable foodstuffs, or keep moving around. Keep moving around quietly.
Yes.
A bike is good.
Yeah, bikes would be great, actually. One of the safest locations during the zombie apocalypse, not that that's ever going to happen,
Says you.
would be a prison. Season 3, wasn't it? Walking Dead? The prison?
4?
4? Could be.
Something
I don't
like that.
remember. It's been so long. With the high walls and barbed wire fences, they're great at keeping people in, but of course they're also great at keeping people out. Not in America. I actually don't know who's got more overcrowded prisons, America or US.
America.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
Okay, that doesn't
I think
surprise
it's
me.
something like 1% of their population is in prison.
Too many. Find one with its own water supply and stockpile of food. Dig up the car parks, plant crops. Yeah, good point. And you've got an extremely safe refuge. The Big Bang Fair is a free running from Wednesdays. Oh, that's something we don't.
Yeah, I was just
that's
going to
not
let you
fair.
go through that. Well, let's see how long he gets promoting something that's probably already finished before he realises what he's doing.
Almost certainly. When was this published? Do we know?
It was published. I don't know where. I just look behind me to see. No, I don't know.
Okay.
Does it say at the top? Never
So
mind.
we had some fun facts about the apocalypse, which I think might be crap because it's list verse. We've got this. September is preparedness month. Oh, this was it. So I don't know if you
To
saw
the scum.
To the scum. So this is the Sun, who suck.
It's a hate-filled rag,
Hate-filled rag.
and I don't feel happy that we're even on this. But we're going to be mean about it, so I suppose that's okay.
That's entirely the point. So this was actually a big thing. It was like trending on Twitter in America, like something to do with Hurricane Dorian.
Wasn't that the one that Trump said? Oh, it's going over here, and then
Yeah,
they
the
went, no, it isn't.
Sharpie.
Went, okay, I'm gonna draw it over here.
See, look, the graph clearly shows that it's going to attack this area. Sharpie. Yeah, that was this whole.
I've not actually seen that.
Have you not?
No, can we watch that?
I don't want to promote that, man.
But I want to see him being
Okay.
an idiot.
I
I would much rather that than the sun.
Yeah, fair enough. Trump, Dorian,
And we're talking about
Alabama.
like disaster.
He is a
and-
disaster. I mean, okay. So I think, as far as I know, the gist of the whole thing was he got given this graph from his experts of where Hurricane Dorian's likely to damage, and you can sort of see. This is going to be an advert, probably.
Did you tell your chief of staff to have NOAA disavow those forecasters who said that Alabama was not in the path of the storm?
So basically, the whole thing is like he said, I think, in a press conference earlier than this, that Alabama was going to be destroyed by Hurricane Dorian, and his experts were saying, no, it's not. That's slightly out of the thing. And then I think he was given this graph, which showed where it was going to be, and on television, on the news report or whatever, the graph had got like just an extended Sharpie mark around. This is not the video I wanted. There it is. So it's just got like this. This is clearly the white line.
Yeah, that's the sign.
This is where it's actually going to be. This is where the damage is going to be. And then there's just like a Sharpie out on. I think that's Alabama, isn't it?
That's a little bit of Alabama.
Just a Sharpie extending it in not even like an extension of the pattern. It's just like an extra. Like it's grown an extra nut. It's really
Wow.
bizarre. And the one thing I found really funny is someone asked him if he drew it on with a Sharpie. It's like, no, where would I get a Sharpie? He's like, well, that's what you use to sign all your documents. There's one on your table right now. He's an odd man, and I wish he'd get in the bin. Or the sea.
Wow.
So this happened recently in America when they were trying to talk about preparedness and like preparing for Hurricane Dorian, which is obviously like this big scary thing. I don't want to like play down the tragedy and
Oh,
the
yeah,
scariness of it, obviously. But we're going to read The Sun now, which is going to undermine that point. What was interesting in America when they were talking about grab and go bags, I don't know if this is the same exact image, but they were really heavily promoting, oh, this is what you need to have. These are some of the resources. And all of these like resources to promote what you need, all of the advertising and stuff, I think were made by the people selling these the actual rucksacks to contain your grab and go stuff, which is just it's one of those things where like I hate that, but that's really clever. If you're gonna promote rucksacks, like jump on the disaster bandwagon, I guess. And then so that I don't know if it was a coincidence that now it's Preparedness Month, because apparently September is Preparedness Month all the time. I don't know. Yeah, so it's this whole thing. But basically, like, police have been promoting what you need for a grab and go bag, and my initial thought was, well, what's going to go wrong in the UK? Like, obviously, politics is broken down. We don't need a grab and go bag. We need a how to smash the monarchy bag, or how to smash the parliament bag, which is mostly just bricks and Molotovs, I think, and balaclavas. I don't know what they use in Hong Kong. Chainsaws, probably. Did the job, didn't it? They won. Ben doesn't read the news.
I mean,
Neither do I.
I look at some bits of the news, and your take on the news is much.
What? No, the Hong Kong protesters won.
Yeah.
They retracted the what was it? They were protesting the fact that Hong Kong was going to extradite criminals to China, where
Yes.
you can just get shoved in a murder van and disappear in China. So
Yeah.
that's why people were protesting, because Hong Kong is, I mean, it's not liberal, but compared to China, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Hong Kong's the place to be. So they protested, and then they retracted that law.
Oh, cool.
They won. The protesters won because protest works.
Sorry, I was aware of this sort of stuff going on
Yeah.
in the news, but it was only enough that I was like, wait, huh? I knew
Yeah.
that they were
Yeah.
going on, and when it was actually explained, I was like, wait, extraditing. So who's? I'm agree. One of these sides I'm agreeing with, but it's not been said if it's the protesters or not protesters that are doing the thing.
It's one of those
And
things
then
where,
it
like,
was all for weeks and weeks. It was just riots continue. I'm like, good.
yeah.
Maybe. I think.
Yes. It was one of those things where, like, it's a little bit like the Brexit protests and like everything that's going on in the UK at the moment. Like, it's, if you just sort of glance at it, it's really hard to know what's going on. If you want to know what's going on, there's a whole big rabbit hole there that is speaking as a chaotic good, it's hilarious. I love it. It's really, really fun to just watch everything fall apart. We don't even have a government right now. It's hilarious. We're all going to die. That's why we need a grab and go bag. Also, there's flooding. Also floods,
Yes.
which happen. Does it tend to flood around October, November? 'Cause of
Yearly.
Yearly, I think. So here's what you need if it's going to flood. And I think you can replace this entire left side with local government actually doing something. Because you having to like up and get out of your house and live in where you're going to go. Like, you're used to having Netflix in it, so when your house starts flooding, like, none of this is going to replace Netflix. So actually, what if local governments were funded to a point where they could avert natural disasters like flooding? Just sandbags, really, innit?
Just pop a wall around
Stick
the
a big
rivers.
old wall, lots of sandbags. We got sand
Just a
up
little
into
bit,
Chroma.
just a bit more of a up.
Yeah, a bit more up around the edges. Bevel.
Who's Bevel?
That's my friend who owns sand.
Last name Lee.
Yes.
Beverly.
Beverly. Ah. What?
That's a name.
Tis. I'm really tired.
Beverly.
I'm really tired after my Hong Kong protest tirade.
I'm just
really
constantly tired.
took it out of me. That's what my presence does. So
His presence is NyQuil.
it's got a bow on it. Right. So all of these things Do radios still work? Ain't it all digital?
Sure, you still got analog somewhere. It's got.
No one
I
knows
don't
how to
know.
use it. Or maybe it would all kick in some sort of disaster.
I mean, no, analog's still got to be. You know, BBC One, BBC Two.
I've been to BBC studios. They're all on ground floors. No, I've been to one BBC studio and it's on a ground floor. I don't know.
Okay.
BBC Cambridgeshire is just going to get washed away because it's on the ground floor. It's slightly raised up, but then all the electrics are on the floor. That's my fun fact about flooding in Cambridgeshire, which probably won't happen. Probably. You know, if you want to avoid a flood in Cambridge, you just take all the bikes out of the river. And the water level will just plummet. That's a joke that no one's going to get. So the thing in Cambridge is that everyone steals your bike because there's lots of bikes. And the bikes just tend to end up in the river. I know that doesn't seem funny, but it actually is.
Oh,
That's
no,
a good
it's
joke.
Any picturesque little place, you could guarantee that whilst there's like, to every duck you see, there's probably about 3 BMXs.
Yeah. Yeah. There's like, if ducks were to learn to ride bikes, that would be adorable. Food and water, I guess that's fair enough. I don't know. Is a nutrition bar is probably the way to go.
I thought that was like a packet of mayonnaise.
Or like, you know, in hotels you get single biscuits in packets.
Love those single biscuits.
Yeah, man. That's wasteful. That's why the world's melting. Because of all the plastic. Whistle.
Oh,
I'll just shout, innit?
wait, a ruined bit. Hey, have you seen that bit of Titanic? The bit with the whistle?
Well, no, what happens to the whistle?
She can't. Kate Winslet or whoever it is can't shout because she's taken too long murdering Leonardo DiCaprio.
If she
So
hollowed
she
out
she has to use the whistle.
If she hollowed out Leonardo DiCaprio, hear me out, he would weigh enough that she could carry him. You break a little bit of the door frame off, stick that in his nose, and it acts as a rudimentary reed. And you just blow through him. And if you spread his legs apart, it will project and they'll hear it. You got a Leonardo DiCaprio whistle. It wouldn't be tuneful, but it would be loud. I don't think you can hollow out a human,
We also have an emergency plan,
especially not without tools.
which is really great because
Oh yeah, I love that bit.
that just know what you're doing.
At all times, carry a solution, and you'll never be in peril. Good
Yeah.
job, the sun. So yeah, that's the grab and go bag.
And
Here's some tweets about preparedness that I don't want to bother looking
I
at.
was about to have such a good end.
Were you?
Yeah. Say the thing about the grab and go bag again.
What do they say?
And that's the grab and go bag.
And that's the grab and go bag.
And that's a good time for us to grab and go.
Bag. Like a meal deal.
Yeah.
Or a compost. That's a
I
grow bag.
was speaking to someone who works in the cafe around the corner from where I work,
Oh yeah.
and she just says she's from Czech Republic,
I've checked. It's still a republic.
and she just said, "I have a question."
Right.
I was like, "Okay." Meal deals.
Right.
What the fuck?
Okay.
I
Is
don't know.
it
I
not
can't help.
self-explanatory?
I can't help but agree because I swear, 10 years ago, meal deals weren't a thing.
Sure.
They just sort of happened almost overnight.
Yeah, but neither were self-service checkouts.
Everyone decided, but there was no build up to. There was a build up to self-service checkouts. There was no build up
Was
to
there?
meal deals. There was just
suppose.
all of a sudden overnight, everyone decided that a small wrap, a packet of hula hoops, and a Diet Coke
Yeah.
was lunch.
Yeah.
And everyone decided that was £3.
It's
And-
good value,
And
though,
it's
isn't it?
apparently the best thing ever.
It's pretty good.
Everyone does it.
I mean,
Have a meal deal. No.
I forget that there are things. So when I get to the self-service checkout and the robot tells me I've saved 30 pence, I'm like, what? Oh, because I bought a sandwich, a drink, and a little pack of pork chaps. Cocktail sausages. Forgot the word for cocktail sausages. Pork chaps. Close enough.
That's a type of trouser. Pork chaps.
What, assless and frontless chaps.
Yeah.
Pork chaps. They support you in no way. You gotta. It's like a bra for your testes. You gotta prevent droopage. Otherwise, you'll never be in porn. What am I on about? Meal deal. Circle, bring it back. Yes. No, I like a meal deal. Do you like a meal deal? That's one thing I'll miss in the apocalypse.
Let us know in the comments. Do you like a meal deal?
I've got nowhere to go from that. Let's finish with one fact from the apocalypse.
Right, stop.
We'll be drinking beer and soda. Well, we will.
Well, help.
Dr.
Nothing's gonna change.
Prepper. Yes.
Oh, that's what we should have called this.
If for some reason the name for our live stream didn't come through, which is really annoying, it was supposed to be Dr. Prepper and what was your addendum?
Pseudopocalypse.
Was that like Soda Apocalypse?
Pseudo, as in sort of.
Yeah.
Apocalypse.
Yeah.
So yeah, Dr. Prepper. What's the worst that could happen? Would also have been a good name.
That would have been great. I'll retroactively change that.
But let's make that happen.
This has been the Conversation App podcast. Thank you for watching the live stream of the Conversation App podcast.
Live stream.
Our second live stream. I think that was pretty good.
It's we've got through it.
We certainly did. These are going to be monthly, we think. So what is it? The second Sunday of the month? Third Sunday of the month?
I don't know. We'll sort that out because I've missed a big chunk of Pokemon Go's Community Day today because of this.
Oh, thank you. I don't know what that means. I'm not a nerd.
It means next time I will check the Community Day.
Right.
And make sure that I'm not doing this on one of those.
Fair enough. And yeah, this is also available as a podcast. If you're watching the live stream and you want to listen as a podcast, you can do that. I think we're on basically all podcast apps. Podbean, Spotify, Apple. Yeah, I think basically all of them. I know there's a couple that we're not on, but I think that's just because they're literally not available in the UK. Good screaming. If you're listening as a podcast, you can go and watch this on YouTube. If you search Conversation App Podcast on YouTube, you will find the live stream, which is almost exactly like the podcast you just heard. Probably be a little bit longer. And there will also
be pictures of us. We'll be there with you.
In
your room.
Several dimensions.
With you or in your ears, but with your face as well. We'll be there with pictures.
Moving pictures. You can see Ben in his hank top and assless chaps.
And you can see Liam in his pork chaps and assless top.
Aren't all tops assless? Only
we'll talk about
only
sexual
when I'm
positions
not wearing
later.
them.
Yeah, what?
I'm an ass.
What button do I press to make this stop?
You can press button. Oh heck, good question. 9.
9.
Thanks and bye.
Bye. 9.
No. You got to press it physically.
Physically.
Still outro.
Outro.
Still outro. That's it. Ben wanted to come back and explain that he pressed the wrong button.
I wanted to press all the buttons to see what would happen, but I didn't know that you wouldn't hear.
Something stupid does happen. Yeah, no, it cuts out the audio when you do that.
I was the stupid thing. Goodbye!